Why is global collaboration so important?
Well, I think one can answer your question in two ways. I mean, it depends whether you look at people or whether you look at institutions. If you look at people, I mean, every scientist knows that he or she needs to be in contact with many people in different countries for the very reason that looking at the same problem with different eyes can really bring a new light. And these collaborations, I mean, are really essential to the life of scientists, and therefore they have always been struggling to get all kinds of obstacles which can exist for the circulation of brain to be abolished. Now, from the point of view of institutions, of course, it's different. You can think of a collaboration in different ways. For example, at the level of Europe, finally, there is a European Union, and definitely some countries have decided to join their efforts and organize as part of their activities in science around some programs which are under the responsibility of the European Union. So for the period 2014-2020, it's called Horizon 2020, and it's concentrated on science but also innovation. And part of it is European Research Council. Of course, at the international level, there is no similar organization, although there are a number of organizations who really strive for also collaboration. A typical example is the United Nations, which has UNESCO as one of its branches. But you may have heard that the Secretary General of United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, has decided to have next to him a scientific council. It shows that at the level of United Nations also science is recognized as one component which has to be brought from all continents together. So it shows that from the point of view of strict collaboration, global collaboration is organized in many different ways, and of course it's absolutely essential also to deal and to tackle global challenges. It's impossible to talk about climate change country by country. It's just a worthless effort. You really need to join efforts, and in the most open way and also in the most efficient way, which is not trivial.
And the challenges are indeed global. I mean, when we look at the challenges, it's not just that the winds know no borders and the viruses don't check through passport control at every border, but actually that you can have things happen in one part of the world that have an effect on the other. I was thinking of droughts in China forced the importation of wheat, which drove up the price in the Middle East, which then started riots on the price of food. So these things are all globally connected.
Well, you're describing a situation which is actually a bit new for the world. I mean, of course, if you look back in history, you can find also situations where you had global impact. But in recent years, for many of the problems of the type you mentioned, definitely forgetting that a major move in one country induces also transformations or new phenomenon in other countries. So you have to be aware of these things to deal with that. Another part which is also very crucial today with the circulation of people has to do with epidemiology. It's very important that people keep an eye on all kinds of illnesses which develop here and there, which locally may be not so major, but if they develop into a global epidemic, then you are in big trouble. So these are typical situations where the world around people need to join efforts to monitor, to really have also some means of intervention and to be quick in really reacting to global situations.
Minister, you were saying that, last night when we first met that actually one of the things that was important to South Africa during the time that it was isolated was actually the collaborations that then developed to help you bring up to speed your scientists who've been working in isolation. You've got some very, very fine scientists, and you've got a particularly